Hey everybody, RockPaperMario here, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Blue. I was debating whether to call it something specific, but I think just going au natural and calling it Pokemon Blue, like Let's Play Pokemon Blue, not Let's Play Pokemon Blue, the complete Pokedex edition, or Let's Play Pokemon Blue, the Gotta Catch 'em All edition, or Let's Play Pokemon Blue 150 Pokemon. Let's play Pokemon Blue Poke Rap. Let's show everyone how to make a Pape Rap. First, you take a tub of meat. Then you cook it up for just a bit. Oh my god. There's this ridiculous video. That's Kusala Goopa Goop, by the way, is what that is. There's this ridiculous video and I think it's called Kusi is a Pedophile, I think is what it's called. If I remember correctly. I don't need to go to the Pokemon Center. Well, actually, do I? I think the video is called Kusi is a Pedophile, and it uses clips from that. It's basically a YouTube poop using that video, or using that episode of Dexter's Laboratory, the first one with Kusala Goopa Goop in it. And like it uses that part that's like, first you take a tub of meat or something like that. But there's this ridiculous part where if it clips from like Dee Dee on the bed, like repeating, going like that, and then it clips straight to Kusi with his hands like at perpendicular to his body, like with his arms perpendicular to his... I'm doing it right now, but you can't see it. Like, with his hands perpendicular to his body. We're gonna need a lot of these motherfuckers. With his hands perpendicular to his body, making a noise like this. Like that. And it just makes me laugh every time I watch it, so... take my advice, Kusi is a pedophile. Watch it. Don't know what else I need to say. We're actually going to start catching Pokemon here, believe it or not. We might as well. I don't know whether I'm going to bother doing the other rival battle up here, but... because there are a couple of Pokemon that we can catch here. Spearow is one of them. Go, Bob Pataki. Show him what the Beeper King can do. You're like that big white belts, Dad. Do big white belts, dads everywhere proud. You've got to remember not to kill them, actually. Well, him growling at me is going to do me a favour in that respect. Like, something that I never explained before is that, I have actually got 150 Pokemon before in Pokemon Blue. It is something that I have done in a previous lifetime. Will I do one more? He did growl at me, so I'm probably going to be okay as long as I don't get a critical hit. Yeah, see? Now we use the item, Pokeball, go! This is going to be just like the first episode where I think it's a Pidgey and it turns out to be a Spearow, and then I get like attacked and killed by them all. New Pokedex data will be added for Spearow. The tiny bird Pokemon. Oh, what? I skipped it. Yeah, and then I tried to go back and ended up skipping all of it. Of course I want to give Spearow a nickname. I have no idea what to call it. The first thing that popped into my head was Buzzar. Like that thing in Paper Mario. Or whatever it's called. I think that's the way you spell its name. I think in the interest of not annoying you guys by spending a million years picking out every name, I'm probably going to go with the first thing that pops into my head for the majority of Pokemon. Wild Rattata appeared. But yeah, I did oh my god, I have to run from this. I didn't know that the Beeper King had been so severely injured by Buzzar. I have got 150 Pokemon before, but it wasn't legitimately, because my friend who had Pokemon Red and we managed to do some of it, and I think the last Pokemon that I needed to get, well no, not the last Pokemon, like, the last Pokemon that I got was Tauros, was the last Pokemon that I got, but Tauros, amongst other Pokemon, I didn't get legitimately, so I didn't get all Pokemon legitimately, because I was 9 and I was a dumb kid and I didn't have respect for the game. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna do the missing no cheat, or the whatever it's called, the glitch, whatever name it's called. I'm gonna do that cheat and I'm gonna catch these Pokemon and end up with a level 1 Kangaskhan and end up with a Tauros and blah. And it ended up working out, and that's how I got 150 Pokemon. So this is actually going to... I can actually do another one if that was a critical hit, as long as I don't get another one, but I'm kind of glad I'm getting Nidoran female now. Nidoran female, use tackle. Item. Pokeball, go! Catch that Nidoran! So yeah, that's what's... So this is going to actually be the first time, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. This is going to be the first time I'm going to be legitimately obtaining all 150 of the original Pokemon. Nidoran female, the poison pin Pokemon. Although small, its venomous barbs render this Pokemon dangerous. The female has smaller horns. This is going to be the female. It's going to be Beyonce. Because I was just taught Nidoqueen and I was like, oh, that's kind of like a Beyonce Pokemon. Especially that one picture of her. Like, I'll have to put it up on screen. That one picture of her where she has, like... That one picture of her where she has... Yeah, that is how you spell it. That one picture of her where she's wearing, like, a big furry red thing where she just looks enormous. So, yeah. Hey, I can call, like, the Nidoran male Jay-Z, and then I'll have Jay-Z and Beyonce. I'll have the first, because they are Pokemon's power couple. Nidoking and Nidoqueen, they are like Gen 1's power couple without a doubt. There's just no denying it. No, I already have you, Nidoran female, sorry. I'm actually going to have to train these Pokemon as well. Now, some of the Pokemon, like, and this is something that only struck me afterwards, because I was thinking, oh, I'm going to have to catch every single one of these. Or no, I'm going to have to, like, train and evolve every single one of these. Like, I'm going to have to catch Rattata, and then I'm going to have to train it and evolve it into a Raticate. But certain Pokemon, and this is something I'd like to leave open to you guys in the comments section. So now I'm going to catch this Rattata, unless I kill it, but... I'm going to catch this Rattata, and I have 2 options for how I'm going to obtain Raticate. Now, I can either evolve Rattata into Raticate, which would take some effort, basically, and especially since Rattata isn't necessarily a Pokemon I want to use that much. Or I could just catch a Raticate independently, and add it to the Pokedex that way. Now, as far as I'm concerned, each option has its pros and cons. It bites anything when it attacks, it's small and very quick. Well, I know what I'm going to call this already, I just thought of it. It's the goddamn Coypu. Will that fit in? G-O-D-D-A-M-N? No. It's the goddamn Coypu. I know what I'm going to name this already, because there are actually Coypus where I live. Like, if you don't know what the Coypu is, it's like a South American giant rat. And they actually live... Like, they're an invasive species that is after being released in this part of Ireland where I live. Like, actually, in this city is where they are. And they had it on the national news and everything. They were like, keep an eye out for the Coypu. It is in your rivers. It is near your house. Blah, blah, blah. Freaking everyone out. And everyone's like, oh my god, the 1 meter rat. It's like the thing that ate the Bronx. And, like, it is. It's like the rat that ate the Bronx because it's like a 3-foot rat. That's exactly what it looks like. And then there's this one episode of that thing, Mountain Monsters. Oh, he's gonna show me how to catch a Pokemon. I can show you a thing or two, old man. Oh wait, no. I was just gonna say, I can show you a thing or two, old man. And then there's this episode of that show, Mountain Monsters, where those old guys... You can catch Pidgey in Viridian Forest, can't you? You can catch Pikachu in Viridian Forest for what that's worth. That might have... Well, I'll have to catch him in Viridian Forest, won't I? That's like the only place you can get him in this game. That show Mountain Monsters, that's about those guys in Virginia going around catching monsters, basically. There's this one episode where they're going after the Grass Man, and the Grass Man is basically like a Sasquatch, but he has long hair that looks like grass hanging all over his body. What? No one's gonna fight me here? I'm looking for people to rough up with. Big Bob Pataki needs to strut his stuff here. And then, in this one part of the episode where they were looking for the Grass Man, they got like an audio recording, and they were shocked because when they played their audio recording, they heard the call of not the Grass Man, but the Yahoo, which is like another monster that they looked for in a different episode. Oh great, of course Bob Pataki had to get poisoned here. Well, we'll just bring Buzzar out if things get dodgy. If this Weedle has me on the ropes. But yeah, the Yahoo, which is another monster, and the call is like something like Yahoo, like that. It sounds like Yoshi or something. Is what it is the first thing I thought. Now, when I hear that call, the first thing I think is that sounds like Yoshi. But they all got these like terrified expressions on their faces when they heard the audio recording, and what they said was, "It's the goddamn Yahoo!" Like that. Like is what they said. They were like, "It's the goddamn Yahoo!" Like they were completely terrified. They were like, "What's the Yahoo doing in this part of the country?" That's actually what they said. They were appalled. They were like, "What's the Yahoo doing in the Grass Man's territory? The Yahoo isn't supposed to be in this part of the state of Virginia." And that's all I thought. That's all I could think of when I heard about the Coypu, was that episode of that Mountain Monsters thing, and just being like, "It's the goddamn Coypu! What's the Coypu doing in this part of the country?" So yeah, well now we have our very own Coypu. To get back to the original topic, each of those options has its own pros and cons. Now, as I was saying, are we actually going to die here to this Caterpie? We actually might. I might actually switch. What a thought. Come on, Buzzar. Only Beyonce can take this guy on. Because I actually would like to train up Beyonce. Definitely. Now, this comes back to my options. I'd like to kind of leave it open to the comments because, as I say, I have the option of either training Rattata to evolve it into Raticate, and that's only one example, or catching another Rattata, or catching a Raticate independently. Both would have the same end effect. That's not an English word, that's a German word. Both would have the same end. I can't think of the English word. Both would have the same end effect, which is the most logical word I could think of adding both Pokemon to my Pokedex of 150. And the pro of that, the pro of catching Raticate independently as opposed to training Rattata is that it would save time. The con of it is that, and this is the reason why I would actually tend towards actually training. Poor Bob Pataki fainted, as if. This is why I'm tending towards maybe training the Coypu, training the Coypu, as opposed to catching another Coypu. Training just seems more fun because it would actually get me to use Pokemon and to train Pokemon that I normally wouldn't use, which has a huge advantage as far as I'm concerned, or which is more in the spirit of what I'm trying to do. So as I say, that's like am I seriously going to make this little progress in this video? These videos will probably have to be longer, guys, just so you're warned, because I've been going for over 15 minutes at this stage. And I'm not even halfway through Viridian Forest, and that's because I've gone catching Pokemon and whatever, but still. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. As I say, my current preference is towards training Pokemon as opposed to catching them independently. So I would actually train Beyonce as opposed to waiting until we get to the Safari Zone to catch an Nidorina and then call it something different, and then it's not as special because it's not the same one, and Beyonce never reaches her supreme queen status. You can't jam out if you're a Pokemon trainer, apparently. So this is why, that's basically the main reason, is the kind of sentimental value of it all. You guys know me from my first Pokemon Yellow LP, and from my Pokemon Silver LP, and if this fucker poisons me again, I'm going to fucking... I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to scream, I promise. I was totally expecting to get poisoned there, just so the Fates would have their dig in. So yeah, my current preference is because, like, you guys know from my previous Pokemon LPs, I get very kind of sentimentally attached to each Pokemon, and that's basically the reason why I would plump for training each Pokemon individually and evolving them, as opposed to training each Pokemon individually and evolving them, as opposed to just catching more Pokemon and them not being as special. Watch out, he'll poison me on the very last What did I tell you? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Oh, I promised I'd scream. Ah, that was my scream. I didn't want to scream properly because I was conscious of the fact that I already did all that Kusala Goopa Goop garbage at the beginning of this video. Well, Bob Pataki learned Bubble. So that'll make things actually go quite a bit more quickly. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to switch out to Buzzar. Just because it'll make things go more quickly here. And plus, Bob Pataki, what a weird back sprite. I'm going to see all these back sprites that I'm not used to seeing just because I'm not used to using these Pokemon. Bob Pataki is going to get plenty of opportunity to level up, what with all the rock Pokemon. All the Geodudes are basically going to be handled by him, so... He doesn't need... He's going to get experience in spades, don't you worry. Buzzar grew to level 6 already. And another Weedle. I'm just going to keep him out here. I'm actually considering maybe... Do you remember, like, with Pokemon Silver, I did, like... I used to do it that I'd upload it at the weekends, and I'd do, like, half-hour videos. That's kind of like what I'm considering to do with this now at the beginning, because it's like a new LP and there's stuff I want to get your feedback on. I'm going to upload it more regularly. But yeah, this is going to be the feedback video. So this basically, I'm going to end this off now because we've been going for like 20 minutes. But there are two things I want to know. I want to know your feedback on training versus catching to evolve. Training to evolve versus catching to obtain. That is the question that is facing our society in these times. And also on long videos every weekend, I'm talking like a half hour at least, so like about 30-minute videos every weekend, so because I'm conscious of the fact that I don't want to dilute summertime radness time either, versus just regular videos that are between 15 and 20 minutes, where there's less progress, because like if I'm catching loads of Pokemon, I'd almost prefer to have a longer video. So you kind of know which way I'm leaning, but I'd like to get your feedback too. So yeah, let me know in the comments section. I'll probably open up a poll over on Twitter as well, just to get the voice of the people there too. So yeah, and check out the shared document below to view our progress on these Pokemon that I'm catching. Thanks again for watching this part of Let's Play Pokemon Blue. See you next time. Bye now.